about to jump into game. I actually don't want to wait.
Yep.
I just want to see what's going to happen.
I want to see who's going to win this and who's going to meet MC in the consolation match, because that's going to be one sick game. Jay already faced MC once and he lost without winning a single map. And now we have LucifroN against Jay. Map number 3 has just started. Starting to the top right is our Zerg player in blue. Starting for Team Fnatic, it is Jay. And his opponent in this third game of the best of 3, starting to the bottom left of the map, is of course the Spanish player LucifroN, playing for Karont3 Gaming. And yeah, this is the last chance for both of them. We are in the losers match of Group D at the IronSquid tournament. Guys, make also sure that you at IronSquid Gaming on Twitter. You can also at FnaticJ, our Zerg player to the top right, if you want to support him. The Twitter account of LucifroN is at Karont_LucifroN. And you can of course also support the two of us if you're happy with the cast so far, at ProxyWolf and at myself at Caldo on Twitter, and tweet about the event. Make sure that you let people know. Tomorrow we have a very interesting group as well. That is definitely something that I want to give some information that I want to give out to all of you. Tomorrow we have a group with Sase, Ganji, with Lenok and DRG. So that's going to be one epic group. I'm really excited about it.
Anybody can get out of that group, you know. If it were a LAN, if it were like an offline event where we are the GSL, for example, I'd be like, oh, I think I know who's getting out. But in an online situation group, I'm not sure. But LucifroN's going double barracks here, and he's not doing it extremely forward. It's kind of like to the side.
Yeah,
it's like he's got a plan here where he's going to try to trick his opponent a little bit, but and it's going to be scary, but not that scary. It's just going to be pressure, but not from the natural like you would expect. So when Jay first gets there, he's going to be like, uh-oh, 2 barracks proxy, but it's like, it is proxy, but not really, so he can actually easily float back to his natural. So this is more pressure than an all-in.
It's going to be very interesting how Jay is going to deal with this, though, because he built the hatch at 15, did not get a drone scout out, and is also adding 2 additional drones.
Overlord is away from the hatch.
Yeah. He's adding 2 additional overlords before he went into the spawning pool, so therefore he has to pull a little bit later, and he does not really have an idea what's going on here. He doesn't even see the bunker.
This could be game ending.
This is really dangerous, like indeed, because the overlord doesn't see anything at the natural, and with the style that LucifroN used, why would he assume that there is going to be an overlord?
He probably just thinks there's a CC at the wall. Now the SV comes at a normal timing just to trick him.
He has to cancel that third.
He doesn't know yet, though, and the bunker actually...
I mean, he can't cancel it, but do you think he can save it even with the spike crawler now?
I don't know, man. There's about to be 3 Marines in there. The SCVs are ready to repair. I'm a little bit surprised the SCVs aren't poking at the hatchery right now.
I'm more surprised that he doesn't add a second bunker.
Yeah, me too. It's like, this is not his plan to kill him, but he's like, well...
If he gets a second bunker, I feel this hatch is dead.
If he could actually make the bunker behind the mineral line even.
There's the second bunker. Okay, now we have it.
You could even make a third if he really wants to, but it's too close to the ramp.
He does it though.
Yeah.
And of course this third bunker can be attacked from the high ground.
Queens will be able to poke at that, but still.
Well, good luck defending that base.
Queen's gonna come out, make sure she stays away from the bunker.
That's a lot of Marines now coming to the top right, and the second bunker is definitely gonna finish. There is no way for him to hold this hatch.
He's making the spine on the high ground, but I think you're right. It's way too late. 6 more lings coming out, but the hatch is gonna die. We're gonna watch it die.
The Marines have to get into the bunker though. There we go. The suicide ling.
That was hatch is gone.
And that is also a pretty sick contain.
Yeah, he just needs to make a CC back at home now. And suddenly the music just starts playing in my ears. Like the turn music happens after the bunker's finished and the hatchery's gone. The music just starts playing. Terran theme, man. That's what it's all about. Bunker rushes.
Creep spread now on the top, and of course the bunker, the spine collar, as we already said, is poking away now. So the Marines, I actually don't agree with his decision to go up the ramp.
Yeah, there's way too many things up there. He doesn't know it, but he's about to find out, and he actually might lose all his Marines.
He can save all of them with the positioning of the bunker. He can save every single one.
He really wants to kill that spine crawler. Is that really worth it?
Yeah, no. I feel actually if he is able to take it down, it is. But with the
the Queens there though, I just think that was never gonna gonna happen. I mean, I see the idea, but you know, if he wants to do something like that, he should have made a 4 barracks and lift it. To be honest, rather than try to keep one marine on the high ground, that's not gonna work. He's actually spending resources to keep this bunker alive. That's not even important anymore. I think he should salvage that.
And well, Jay is doing the only thing that he really can do because he can't get an expansion. You go for a one-base play with Banelings and speed. LucifroN has a huge lead in this game, and thanks to those bunkers, he can just retreat with all those marines. The question is, will we see Jay trying to catch up with them and surround them? But that is not really happening right now. So the main question is just going to be, is LucifroN able to defend his expansion? He does that really well, though. He doesn't take too many chances. We have him with the command center on the high ground. He has a wall at the front. We have a triple barracks wall as well. And if he builds a few bunkers, I feel that he's going to be completely fine here.
Yeah, it looks like he got the salvage off of one of those 2 bunkers back with lings. The other one didn't work, but this is a ton of lings. In total, there are 47 lings at the 8-minute mark here.
And he's seen them. And there comes the first bunker.
Ready as well, consider that. So you could actually just make a ton of Banelings here and try to bust it.
That's
it's predictable though, you know?
Yeah, first of all it's predictable, and then it's going to be really expensive. Because you need so many of those Banelings to bust through a barracks, and they're already the double bunker. So LucifroN is ahead in economy in this game. He has now the expansion. He has not this massive lead that he could have, but the lead is good. Against double base though, and now of course the map dominated by Jay. He just has so many units here, and it's, by the way, supply block heavily at that.
The lings kill the rocks, and he's just gonna double expand from here. He just doesn't want to leave anything to chance. He's not gonna all in. And at 1 marine, is it worth it? I actually killed like 3 of the Zerglings actually for 1 marine, so not really.
Look at how safe LucifroN is here. 3 bunkers, man. 4 even. Another one at the expansion. He might even be overdoing it a little bit.
Yeah, maybe so. This white double Evo chamber going down, as Jay is actually playing a pretty normal follow-up here.
The harvest account is sick for LucifroN here. He's ahead in SCVs, and we have now, of course, the mule advantage for him. No 3rd base, which is something that he really like to get in the rest of the games. Double factory, look at that. 2 factories right away.
He's gonna go for the blue flame Hellion follow-up, I think. Tech Lab going down on 1 factory definitely means that's what we're gonna see. No reactor though, so that's one thing that's
oh wow, look at that. We actually missed that he cancelled the Baneling Nest. Apparently he built the Baneling Nest. I was already wondering why he didn't even try to get a single Baneling out there. So it looks like he just changed his mind earlier. He started Banelings, I saw it on the tab, but he apparently cancelled it, and just now goes into the Baneling Nest a little bit later.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if it... Nah, I don't think that a Baneling bust would have been all that successful.
I don't think so. You know, I mean, he had a ton of lings, but LucifroN was ready, man. He read it like a book. These add-ons are a little bit exposed. That's the one problem that LucifroN has here, but obviously with the amount of bunkers he has, no amount of lings is probably going to try to bust that.
Look for that tech, man. That is so late. And all the timings are just screwed up with what happened. LucifroN's bunker attack against the natural really did such a huge amount of damage. It completely caught Jay off guard. Jay is just in a position where all his timings don't work out anymore. And it's very difficult for him to kind of make this work. He gets the huge control of the mid game though, because of the amount of Zerglings that he has, and he uses it to get a decent creep spread up. LucifroN is in a position, on the other hand, where nothing that he does is scouted. There are just no information for Jay. He plays completely blind.
Drones. He's making 20 drones at once. I don't even think I've ever seen that many drones on the production tab in my life. Like never, not even when Rat was playing. I never seen that. 20 drones at once. He's very blind. You're very right, and you know, LucifroN doesn't have a massive lead in army supply, but it's the composition and the infrastructure he's building.
LucifroN is going for this Hellion and Marine pusher that I so love.
But you know, this is different. This is with Blue Flame, and this is after a weird.
It's true.
It's after a weird opening where LucifroN got ahead, and he just wants to punish that 3rd. Look at how good Jay's creep spread is, though. He actually is going to buy a lot of time here.
Yeah, that's the mid game that he had.
And he has the Banelings to defend. That's what you need when you have this push coming at you.
Exactly. That's the one thing where I'm a bit scared for LucifroN. But that's a lot of army supply. The Hellions getting away, not being surrounded.
Yeah, the Hellions actually get away. The Marines go down, but Hellions are going to do a little bit more here, and that's without any roaches, and with just pure lings and banelings off creep, you're never going to be able to kill those Hellions. So the Marine trade was terrible, and it looked like LucifroN got the worst end of the trade, but then he actually was able to take those banelings and Zerlings. Now he's going to try to get some drones here as well. That was nice, and now he can actually got the lings as well.
Nice,
That was he took a bad trade and made it go to that's how that was done. He's actually just going for drones again. I don't know how much I like this, but how much will he get? You know what? He makes it work.
Yeah, he gets a few reinforcements.
He sends 2 more Hellions, yeah. And damn. Wow. Oh my god, it's not over yet? That one Hellion's like 1 drone shot away from death. Oh,
so
wow.
many killed. He killed 17 workers in this last engagement.
That was just kind of like, okay, you got 5 workers, that's worth it. Then 7, I don't know if she'd be doing this or not. Then 17.
That was a bit crazy, especially with all the Zerglings that he killed. And LucifroN really came through here.
Oh, that one thing. He's gonna have to pay the price.
At first that trade was not too great. You talked about the Marines that died, but this was really a different story. When those Hellions, and especially the few that he sent over after the initial ones were dead, took down the Harvesters, that really worked so well for him. And he might be behind in overall supply, but once again, those 3 bases, good upgrades, that's what LucifroN wants to go for.
He just dropped 5 mules on that 3rd base too. He's gonna have a sick income just for a brief period of time here with those 2-2 coming out. Plus, when he added the barracks, he's got all the production in the world that he wants. 5 mutas coming out. He's gonna put up to 11. That's not gonna be too effective for anything except shutting down drops though. At this point, considering that Marines upgrades are already out, we're so late in the game here, and they need to run away. This is an early stem, and he's gonna actually take this hatchery down. It looks like his siege is up. And is patient here. Ling run by though.
Yeah, that Ling run by is doing damage.
There's nothing in that bunker. That turret finishes to explode.
Gets those SCVs back. Here come the Marines, and the Marines are hidden up. So he's able. He doesn't lose too many Harvesters. He lost like in a totally lost 13, but he lost a few already earlier.
And the mules remain alive, so he's gonna keep mining those. The hatchery died. Meanwhile, back at home for Jay, so that's the bigger problem here.
It just feels like LucifroN he clawed into this game and he doesn't let go.
Yeah, that's actually a great analogy.
It's currently like, even though he loses, he loses a fight like this, but he has still a decent supply, and Jay is really, I feel, struggling to get a good hold on the game, because we are 17 minutes into the game and he still does not have a hive tech.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't even have the infestation pit. It's not like the fights that he takes so that he wins them and he doesn't play too bad, but the game is gonna spiral out of control for him.
The game is just gonna keep going away from him, because, you can only use this composition that you made for so long. This is actually something we've seen a lot in our IronSquid groups, where a lot of these Zerg players and Zerg vs Terran are just not getting the infestation until very late. And not to say that infestors are the end all, but sometimes, you can do damage, but if you don't end the game or you don't cripple him massively, you're gonna need infestors. Even if you do cripple him massively, you're gonna need those infestors, but you can't just use Muta Baneling forever.
It's just LucifroN with these great timings. At first taking down the natural of his opponent, later on able to kill the 4th base, which puts Jay back a little bit. And it's just wave after wave, +3/+3 now on the tap, so he already has the 2-2 upgrades, which is the same upgrades that Jay currently has. But once again, the medivac support that we will see soon, that's gonna change the story.
Oh well, that was a terrible engagement with those banelings. He caught some of the morphing banelings, and some of the ones going up the hill just died to siege tank fire before they could do anything.
We have an attempt to get 2 bases for Jay, and now he's running in from every single angle.
A good engagement for Jay, I have to say. He actually destroys that army.
Yeah, he destroys the army, but overall we still have both of them with a very similar unit loss count and of course resources loss count.
Yep.
A 30 supply lead, that's the one thing that Jay always maintains, a bit of a lead in the game.
He just takes the lead, but he's not getting 3-3. That's something that the LucifroN is getting right now. He's actually going to start losing some mutas to turrets as well. It's never a good thing, but he's actually consistently done that in this series too.
The Mutalists have to be so careful against the Marines. He cannot really afford to lose them.
Oh wow, he's going to lose some here.
With a little bit of a better targeting, LucifroN could have killed another 3. He takes down another one though, and it's now 5 bases against 3. But
it goes from 20 supply down to, or 30 supply down to 20 supply down.
The 5 bases are not fully saturated also for Jay. He saturated the right side, which is, by the way, a base that I feel LucifroN does not know about. No,
Yeah,
he
he
has no
doesn't
idea.
know. He would have punished it otherwise, or at least he'd be moving out to do so now that he held off that
Okay.
Mutalist attack. But
This is the timing where I'm afraid for Jay, though. Even though he has a massive bank.
3-3.
Exactly. 3-3, and Jay not being on high tech. This is where I feel now it's time for LucifroN to shine. As soon as those upgrades are completed, I feel it's going to be difficult for Jay. Even though he has this massive bank. I mean, it's not like he's behind or anything.
He just
like
needs that Greater Spire started. But LucifroN is... If he just sits back like this, though, and doesn't hit that 3-3 timing, then Jay is going to be in great shape.
It's a little bit weird to explain. You know, you look at the board and it's like a 25 supply lead for Jay. He has a massive
but it's
bank.
about the composition, you know, and if he gets those siege tanks on the high ground, he clears up the creep like he's doing right now with these Marines. Oh, look at that. That was smart.
That was really well done.
This is not a good engagement for Jay. I don't think he should commit here. There's a planetary.
There's a planetary, there are Marines, there are siege tanks of all things. This is not something that he can win.
He traded okay though, to be honest, but it's the follow-up is not I mean, he killed the tanks, so it's hard to attack that fourth base now, but he lost too many Banelings and Lings, and now with the follow-up, I mean, just look at it, it's 3-3. You're the other tanks, he knows he doesn't have to leave those at the national anymore. He's like, oh, you just lost everything, now I can counterattack you.
He could not do anything with the Mutalist after that, and this is now the time where we have +3/+3 done. And this is before Jinro, sorry, I will always come back to Jinro because we have him like this on the tab.
Yeah, the nameplate.
J and Jinro, you know, both starts with the same letter and therefore are. But yeah, be it as it may. Thing is, +3/+3 for Berserk not even started and LucifroN is done with these upgrades. So now is the time where Jay has to be really afraid. Because that can, if LucifroN hits well now, and I think he will, that's going to be really difficult. He is ahead in army supply with 83 against 75. We have the Infestors now. Greater Spire is not done. This is the time when the Terran player can really take away the spaces. And I feel like Jay can be really happy that at the right side, LucifroN didn't scout once and doesn't know that there's a base, because that is the shortest push distance that he actually has.
Yeah, he could easily take that out. A lot of stimming going on here, but he's doing what he needs to do. He's clearing up those Banelings, making sure he scans every time, not taking a single chance with that.
12 Brood Lords.
This is finally when that bank comes to play where you can actually make those Brood Lords.
And this is what you said earlier, if he waits too long. And if he doesn't do damage before the Brood Lords are out, he is suddenly the one who has to react, and not the other way around.
I feel like if he takes this base out and holds onto his own fourth, he can start those Vikings, but if he only knew about the 3 o'clock expansion.
Exactly. He could have taken that down earlier without a problem at all because of the short push distance.
I think he may have just found out. He's sending a group of units over in that direction.
Yeah, he sends them over there. He has scanned, and now here we go. He's taking them.
The Harvesters are going down. He's going for that hatch, and he's getting it quick. He does not target the hatchery, but the thing is, the Brood Lords take so long to go across the map that he can actually just.
Oh my god!
Oh wow.
Jay sacrificing most of his.
Oh, look at this split! What?
That is crazy. LucifroN with a massive split. All the Mutalists are gone. And those Marines, yes, they die, but that was the best trade ever.
Yeah, I thought he was actually just going to leave, but he didn't. He stayed, man. And he knows he's now got the better economy because he killed 2 hatches.
Did you see how he dodged those fungals?
That was actually crazy. I think that may be the best split I've ever seen, just like on the fly, you know.
That was one of those splits that you had in Command & Conquer where you only had to press X and your Marines would automatically split. That was like he has a special button that splits his units. But he still has to somehow deal with the Brood Lords. There's not a lot of anti-air, and now the Marines are trying to dart in and they're taking them down one by one. And here come the Vikings, but we have a few Corruptors and they are enough for now to force him back. I feel like what LucifroN is doing here is buy time to get more Vikings.
Yeah, but he needs to pull his medevacs back, for example.
But look at the supply. The supply is in his favor now, and even though Jay has the bank, there are still 4 bases for LucifroN.
And those Corruptors are not going to last forever. You can't actually... Did he lose a Spire to a drop? Yeah, look at the main base. The drop actually killed his Spire.
The drop doesn't only kill his Spire, the drop killed a lot more and is still going on.
Yeah, so he has to make... He can't make any more Corruptors to deal with the Vikings until that Spire is done, so... I'm feeling like this is the last stand here for Jay. He has to really do some damage with these last 4 Brood Lords and Infestors he has.
And Jay is building a lot of drones right now, which is not really what he needs. He has the bank, he needs more units, and suddenly at the bottom we have the Queens trying to go for transfuses, but too much firepower with those three Marines, and the Broodlords are gone.
He lost all his tech. He couldn't spend his money because, you know, he didn't have any tech to spend it on. Now the infested Terrans die, the Queens die, and so do Jay's chances of taking any spot in this group.
This is just what we said. LucifroN in the late game, when he has those maxed out upgrades, is too strong. And even though Jay had a good army composition, it were those splits in the micro of LucifroN that changed the outcome of the game. Of course, this drop to the top right is still doing a lot of damage. The Spire is gone. The Hive is also destroyed.
Spawning pool even.
He can't build a lot of units. He can only build Mutalisks.
GG.